I'm not telling you to lie to your kids. I'm just saying, think about it. In the time of this global pandemic, one of the more interesting concepts that has become a part of everyday discussion in language is the idea of herd immunity. For those unfamiliar, herd immunity is when a large percentage of the population becomes immune to a disease, such that it becomes much easier to eradicate. Immunity can come from vaccinations, of course, and that's generally the best way to achieve herd immunity. But in the context of COVID-19, the discussion has been about another form of achieving immunity, which is through having the population become infected and then subsequently recovering. Countries like the UK and Sweden have at least considered this approach for dealing with COVID-19. The obvious problem, though, is the uncertainty. It is a novel virus. We don't know enough about it and what determines the seriousness of infections to be able to rely on individuals to contract it and recover from it for the purpose of building immunity. We aren't even sure after they recover what the extent of the immunity is, so it doesn't seem like a very good approach. But perhaps this idea of herd immunity via infection has some merits for other purposes. What if instead of applying it to achieve immunity from infectious diseases, we instead apply it to create immunity from unwanted ideas or behaviors? What behaviors or ideas? How about something that is universally unwelcome, like lying? Could we use this concept of herd immunity to reduce the amount of liars in society? That is to say, could we quote-unquote infect individuals with a dose of dishonesty so that the result of them recovering from it is that they will never lie again? In essence, developing an immunity to lying. Going back to the COVID-19 context, the issue there with herd immunity is that there's a lack of predictability or control in what would happen if we expose any given individual to the virus. So if we want it to work in the behavioral context, we need the population being infected to have the most predictability and control on the outcome. So which population allows us to do that? Children. The fact that they are not yet fully developed and learning rapidly puts them in a great position to really internalize a strong response against dishonesty as the outcome of the infection. And of course, because they are being raised by their parents, living under their roof and rules, we are given a lot of flexibility in terms of how to best dose the lie that will be given to them. So now the actual execution, the infection. How do you infect your kids with dishonesty? Well, you lie to them. You as their parents lie to them with the intention that they suffer some sort of difficulty, displeasure, distress, even shock. So much so that they can remember it the rest of their lives, the way their immune system would memorize a pathogen. And they can never stomach to inflict lies on anyone else. So what do you lie to them about? How big is the lie? This is the tough part. You're not going to tell them something like, hey, come here, me and your mom aren't really your parents. Finding out that your biological parents aren't who you thought they were can traumatize them for the rest of their life. At the same time, it's got to be a big enough lie that it actually affects them. It's got to negatively affect something that they care about. And it also can't be something that they can easily refute by Googling it or asking someone about. So for example, you could lie to them about something to do with their favorite game or toy that results in you having to take that thing away from them. It's obviously something that they care about a lot, but it's not just going to shatter their world. And if it does shatter their world, then they likely had a serious addiction, and you have bigger problems on your hands than just getting them to learn not to lie. Anyway, at some point you want to then come clean about the lie. Don't wait so long that they just forget about it, or even worse, find out you were lying to them without telling them, and hold it against you forever. You come clean when they still care about the toy, the game, whatever. They will obviously be shocked, confused, angry, reduced to tears. Have an open and articulate discussion with your child about what happened. You let the child know that they were deceived, and then have the child reflect on the pain they felt as a consequence of being denied their favorite thing. And then link the two ideas together, such that when they're lying, that is the pain they're inflicting on someone else. And that's what they should be thinking about in the future if they ever feel the need to lie. So go ahead and give this a shot, and drop a comment on this video in about 15 years or so we get a good sense of whether it worked on your child once they've grown up. Stay inside and stay healthy, everyone.